Hello, my name is Joel Farson, and today I'm going to read to you from my book, Rude Rage, Incivility in Verse. This is a rhyme entitled Corporate Cheaters. Todd was not a working stiff. He was a big executive who moved in elite social spheres with corporate types and financiers. A member of the bourgeoisie, he had an Ivy League degree. But in the years he went to school, Todd never learned the golden rule. He never read The Grapes of Wrath, but he was good at fuzzy math. Thanks to his creative accounting, corporate profits were always mounting. He dreamed of ways that he could win while at the club drinking gin. Making money for the elite, inflating stocks on Wall Street, windfall profits off the chart. What we call cheating, he calls art. He wouldn't accept making less by paying out the IRS. Certain people's palms were greased, making sure profits increased. Todd would often cook the books with his fellow common crooks. Even Todd's own protege smiled and looked the other way. You and I have only dreamt of such wealth, tax exempt. Wall Street made even more when Todd moved accounts offshore. By reducing overhead, avoiding taxes and the Fed, outsourcing jobs, who would have guessed that stocks go up when you divest? With every round of new layoffs, corporate cats got more payoffs. Todd owned a yacht and private jet. He fired workers deep in debt. Americans were out of work, but Todd got a bonus. It made him smirk. The American workforce is betrayed in the glorious name of free trade. Far away from the U.S., many people work for less. We've sold the soul of our nation to multinational corporations. But don't despair, stop complaining, go back to school for retraining. Leave your factories, leave your mills, go back to school to get new skills. Though the factories are rusting and politicians are union busting, you can improve your social stations. Just fill out 50 applications. There's not much else you can do. It's what they call Catch-22. You may not find union work with benefits and other perks, but the service sector is out there. Have you thought of cutting hair? The manufacturing jobs are gone, but you might like a beauty salon, or flipping burgers, serving beer. These are jobs that stay right here. Or maybe answering telephones to help you pay your college loans. It's getting harder to make a dollar. The middle class is getting smaller. Politicians bait and switch to cut taxes for the rich. They pass all kinds of legislation, defunding infrastructure and education. But still, the national debt will soar if you cut taxes while fighting war. When they retire, mom and pop would like to open their own shop. Instead, they work as Walmart greeters, underpaid by corporate cheaters, who oppose increasing minimum wage, yet themselves enjoy a gilded age of corporate gambling and speculation, and hardly any regulation. For the average worker on the floor, the CEO can make 500 times more. A free market boon if everyone did exist. And people think we're going socialist? Afraid we will perpetuate some kind of massive welfare state? Our taxpayer money bails out banks, $700 billion, and they don't even say thanks. Congress gives welfare to corporate bosses who privatize profits and socialize losses. So much for your tax dollar, private luxury, public squalor. So, Todd was called to appear in court for a suspicious financial report. But for any crimes the courts detect, Todd's answer was, I don't recollect. If they found any crimes at all, he simply said, I don't recall. His plea of innocence was all facade. He was, in fact, guilty of fraud. But since he was so well connected, in this scandal he was protected, thanks to false testimonies from his fellow corporate cronies. Though his actions truly shameless, the corporate structure rendered him blameless. Charges were dropped, the case dismissed, without even a slap on the wrist. Not only didn't they prosecute, Todd got a golden parachute. Why are so many of our leaders really just a bunch of cheaters? Fair play is just a myth. Now, what else can I get away with? Rude Rage. available at ruderagebooks.com.